Hey everybody, welcome to the Hustle Global. My name is Shayla Blackshear. I'm your host, and here I'm presenting the lovely Peighton Bryant, the lead actress as Jessica in the new scripted drama Phase 6, which is a spin-off from the New York Girls TV NYGTV series. So, you came on the scene season 2 of the New Girls TV. The YouTube channel has over 100,000 subscribers, over 1 million views. How did that opportunity happen for you?
Um, yeah, first of all, shout out to NYGTV. Like, I didn't even know the numbers, but that's so dope. Actually, it's really interesting. So, like you said, I came on season 2. I didn't start out as one of the original cast members. I actually was just a fan of this show. My friend from back home, shout out to Mish, she hit me up one day and she was like, "Oh my gosh, have you seen this new like LGBT series?" And I was just like, "No, what is it about?" So she gave me their Instagram page, and I ended up like going to YouTube and like binge watching the whole season 1. Like, and I fell in love with all the characters. Like, I
It
love
was so
the
good.
next
It was
season.
so good.
Thank you. Well, thank Amira because she's amazing. She's an amazing writer, director, everything. But I immediately like loved it. So I don't know what came into my mind, but I was just like, yo, let me just hit this director lady up and see if she's casting. Like, maybe I can get on this show. And I emailed her and she emailed me back and she was like, yeah, meet us in Brooklyn. We're gonna do a casting or whatever. So I showed up and I was expecting like it to be like a casting, but it was like a table read with all the cast.
Oh, okay.
So like I said, I was a huge fan. So I was in there like shook, like so nervous, starstruck, like, oh my gosh, that's Cameron, that's Maya, oh my God. Like, and there was actually someone already there playing the role that I ended up getting, which is Jessica.
Really?
Yes.
Wow, how did that turn out?
Yes. I had no idea what role I was reading for when I came there. So I just like, came. And then after I listened to them read, the director was like, oh, let me actually see you like read this line for Jessica. And I read it and they loved it, I guess. And then I guess they told the girl like that they found somebody else because they casted me like that day. And it's been amazing since then. I definitely didn't know that it was going to turn into what it became, but I knew I had the potential to, because it's so amazing. Like I said, I was a fan myself before I started, so I knew that it was a great show. And honestly, I didn't even know how long I was going to be up there. I didn't know how long my character was going to stay. Every season, I was just like, are they going to bring me back? Are they going to bring me back? So,
Yeah, because
yeah, no.
they killed off AJ and Alex. I was like, oh, yeah, that was definitely a plot twist. So yeah, you're absolutely
Yeah.
right.
Yeah, like it is so cool because you never know what's going to happen. Even as like an actress on the show, half the time I didn't know what was gonna happen. Even like I read the scripts and things like that, but things change because Amira is so like creative and sometimes she gets inspired, and it would be really cool to like see the finished product and not know how things like ended up changing from the time I got the script to the time like it got shot and aired and things like that. So yeah, no, it was such a beautiful ride. Like I love NYGTV. I learned so much from NYGTV. Like I didn't know even how to travel in New York before NYGTV. So I learned it because I had to go back and forth to the set and all that. So yeah.
So how did Phase 6 come into existence? Like, how did that happen?
Okay, so Phase 6 is actually a spinoff, obviously, from NYGTV, but it came about because one of the other characters, Maya from NYGTV, who was a fan favorite, and people loved her character. And my character, Jessica, and her were in a relationship, situationship, friendship, and a lot of other things in between. But our relationship became a fan favorite. Like people loved us together because of our dynamic. You know, it was like a femme on femme
Yeah.
relationship, meaning for people who don't know, like two girly girls that kind of like, you know, dress like girls
Mhm.
in a relationship, which is, I guess, not as it's common. It's very common, but it's not something that people usually see as far as lesbian relationships. So the fans really loved it. Like they loved us together. They loved our story. And I think the way that the series ended with our last season, people didn't really know what happened with Maya and Jessica. People didn't know if they ended up staying together, they broke up, and people were so invested in their relationship that it was just like we have to explain what happened in their relationship. We have to give the fans you know, their ending for that relationship or whatever it is, you know.
Mhm.
So that's kind of how phase 6 came about. But and also I feel like my character Jessica was like one of the most hated characters on the show. A lot of people, like, you know, they had their own opinions about her choices and her decisions, and you know, her being a bisexual woman was also something that was kind of controversial because for some reason people just don't love bisexuals sometimes. So that was another thing that led to phase 6 being written, because that Jessica, the character, people kind of got the wrong view of her.
Yeah. I can
And
definitely.
phase 6 is kind of a way for, huh?
No, I would say I can definitely see that because when you cheated on P, everybody was like, "Oh, like she paying your bills and you gonna go ahead."
Right. No, people was really coming for me. Like in the comments, people be on my page. Like, I'm like, listen, I'm Peyton. Like, I'm not Jessica. Like, that's not me. You know, and that was a big thing. And Peyton's a favorite. People love Peyton.
Yeah.
Poppy, like people absolutely love her. So they hated Jessica immediately. Like, girl, you just came in and you gonna cheat on her, you know? So I feel, but I also feel like people get the wrong idea of that situation because you're just seeing the base level of it. Like relationships are complicated, they're
Yeah.
complex. You know, things happen in relationships. And I feel like Jessica is the type of person who she was just trying to do what was best for her heart, in a way. And that's all she ever tried to do in the series. But people didn't look at it as that. They looked at her, oh, she's promiscuous, she's this, she's that, she a hoe, she messed with everybody. Like, and that was never who she was or her intention. And that's why I'm so grateful for phase 6, because it gives her a chance to kind of like tell her story and show like the things that she's went through in the past and how she got into these like kind of bad relationship choices in a sense.
Yeah.
So yeah.
So I seen in like the previews and it mentioned that like phase 6 is about the 6 different stages of breakup. How do you feel about that? Like, do you believe in it?
Um, yeah, absolutely. Like me and myself, since, you know, I'm also going through a breakup right now. So I'm like, you know, working through that or what have you, or I have been working through that over the past few months or what have you. I can definitely say I know that breakups definitely work in stages,
Mhm.
you know, because especially if you've had a relationship like Jessica and Maya's, where it was for a while, you know, where you invested a lot, where you had a lot of good and a lot of bad mixed all in there. Like it takes time to go through and peel back the layers of one, what you've been through, and two, the person that you've become throughout that relationship. Because you know, you change, you pick up habits of your significant other, especially when you're living together, which, you know, Maya and Jessica were. You know, you pick up certain things, and it's really hard to just shake that off once it's over. So I think that it's definitely a process, and you definitely go through those phases. And sometimes you're gonna make some mistakes, which you're gonna see Jessica doing in the series. But you know, hey, it wouldn't be Jess if she didn't make some mistakes every now and again.
So how are you and Jessica like similar and different?
Okay, so that's actually a great question. Well, like I said, me and Jessica are in very similar phases in our lives in general, because you know, Jess in the series, she's going through a breakup. I also recently did as well. So that was another thing that's similar about us. But I think that I used to always feel like Jessica's choices in certain scenarios are different from mine. Because I always felt like sometimes, even in the beginning of me becoming Jessica, I would struggle with like justifying some certain choices that you make. Like I would kind of look at it like, dang girl, like you have to do it that way. Like you could have did it differently. But as I'm growing older, I'm starting to understand more Jessica's choices and understand why she decided to do certain things. Not that I agree with them, but I definitely understand her in that way. But we are very different in our choices. I'm super like, I don't know, I think everything through. And I feel like Jessica's a super like on the whim type of
Yeah,
person, which I can be too.
yeah.
Yeah, no, she definitely like just goes with the flow. I'm like, I will think about it and think about it. Am I sure? Am I really sure? Am I fully sure? Like that's more me. But Jess is super like, I'm gonna do it. And also as far as in the series, you'll see that Jessica is like really finding herself. She's really going through a phase of like growth and rebirth. And I feel like I'm always in that phase. I'm always in that stage of my life where I'm growing and I'm starting over and I'm learning new things. And I think a lot of people are, which is why I think it'll be super relatable, you know?
Yeah, definitely. So what has been like your favorite experience playing the role as Jessica?
Say that one more time.
What has been your favorite experience playing the role as Jessica? It can be like on, it can be
Ooh.
on screen, off
Mm.
screen, anything like your favorite experience.
Okay, so my favorite experience, although I have numerous, like I have so many great experiences. I'm so grateful for getting this role and being a part of like this project, the last project, all of it. My favorite experience, we had, so when we did our movie, the NYGTV movie, we did a tour of the movie, and we went to a lot of different places, but I didn't go to a lot of them because I was busy. But one of the places I did go was I went to California. We went to California and we had a screening, and a lot of the cast went, and we all stayed together. And like, you know, that's one of the things that sticks out to me as one of my favorite like experiences, isolated experiences, because you know, I had never been to California before. First of all, it's beautiful. And getting to do it with, you know, my cast and things, and there was so much love out there. It was Pride, LA Pride, Hollywood Pride. So it was just like so much love, so much fun, so many memories, so much craziness, but it was such a beautiful experience. But outside of an isolated experience, I just loved meeting all the people who've been a part of the cast and things like that. Like I've come in contact with some really beautiful people, human beings, like, you know, and I love them. Like I love each and every one of my cast members. So, you know,
It
I'm
feels
so
so
grateful I got to
genuine
meet.
like watching. It definitely feels so genuine watching, just watching them, and the conversations they have is so relatable. You be like, okay, I definitely had that conversation before and stuff like that. So I can definitely see that. Yeah, definitely. So what was it?
Yeah, no.
Oh no, what were you gonna say? Oh, I thought you was gonna say something.
No. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Oh, so what was it like working?
I probably was.
So what was it like working with Brian Wilson, who also played in The Wire. He plays as your father. What was that like?
Oh my gosh, I love him so much. I love him so much. Like, yo, it's so funny because when I first met him, first of all, I've never seen The Wire,
Oh,
which,
it's so good.
shame on me. I know, I
So
know, but
good.
I seen The Corner.
Okay, I
So,
think I've seen it.
that's where it stemmed from. And I love The Corner, but I had never seen The Wire before, but I knew that's where he was from. But
Mhm.
when I first met him, I was just like, he gives me like Uncle Phil vibes. Like he's such like a teddy bear. Like he's so kind and sweet and like calm. Like he's so mellow. Like, oh, everything's gonna be cool. Like he's so like reassuring. He's just such a great person to be around. Like his energy is just steady, stable. Like I love working with him. I adored it. I felt like our chemistry as father and daughter was really easy to
Mhm.
find. Like it was so easy to be drawn into him, like as like this fatherly figure. So yeah, no, I loved it. I loved it. And I was like, I'm gonna go back and watch The Wire. I still haven't, but I
I'm
will.
telling
One
you, it's top three. It definitely is top three.
I keep hearing it. I just
It's
I
so
just
good.
never watched it. It's long.
So, what can the viewers expect to see this season that was different from the original series?
Ooh, everything. It's so different. And I think that that's the beauty of it. Like Amira, she really outdid herself with the writing of this. She always does. But like
Yeah,
it,
absolutely.
it's something very different from NYGTV because, it's not, I don't know. It's just very different. It's not necessarily, although of course it's an LGBTQ plus series because it's based around a bisexual character. However, it is something for everyone.
Mhm.
It's very relatable and it's talking about different topics as far as like things you go through in life, which is why it's so relatable. Like anybody can look at this and be like, oh yeah, no, I definitely dealt with a breakup. Oh yeah, I definitely dealt with parent problems. Oh, I've definitely dealt with you know dealing with exes and seeing my exes out moving on and how that affects me and friends and different areas that we all experience. I think especially like us as millennials,
Yeah, absolutely.
we're in that time period where we're getting all these different experiences. So I think that people can look forward to that, and
Mhm.
people have, especially the old fans, they're gonna have to keep like an open mind for that because it's gonna be different, but it's beautiful. It's very, very beautiful.
Yes, I can't wait to see it. Definitely can't wait. So, what are your future plans?
Definitely watch it. I'm so, huh?
No, I was saying, what are your future plans?
I didn't hear you. I'm so sorry.
Oh no, no, it's okay. What are your plans for the future?
So, I mean, I'm hoping that, we'll keep going with phase 6 and we'll do, more seasons, fingers crossed, depend, we'll see. But I'm also working on a few other projects. I'm in acting school, so I'm doing like a festival this summer, which we're hoping post COVID, not post, but
Yeah.
things will start to open up where we're able to do live theater. So I will be doing a few plays in that. I've also worked on a few short films and things like that that should be coming out soon. And I plan to continue another web series that I'm doing called Cassidy. So I'll be finishing out like some episodes for that. And what else am I doing? And I'm supposed to be working on another series called Hits the Series, which is going to be so, so, so dope. Hopefully, we'll be shooting this summer. So that's so cool. I know I just named bad stuff, but yes, I'm working on a few things. So, we will see, but I will just keep working and
Yeah,
that'll
that's
be what
really
I'll do.
cool. Yeah, just keep working. Yeah. Um,
Mhm.
if you can share any advice or tips to our viewers about pursuing their dreams as an actor, what would it be?
I would say, if I could share anything, it would just be that you have to do it afraid.
Mm,
Like if you're nervous about like the outcome, you're nervous about, if I send this email, they might not reach back out to me. Just do it anyway. Do it even if you're nervous. Do it even if you're afraid. Because if I had been too afraid or thought like, they're never gonna choose me, they're never gonna reach back out to me, I wouldn't be where I am now. So go for it. Go for it. Whatever the result is, even
yeah,
if it doesn't turn out how you imagined, it'll just be a memory.
yeah, absolutely. So, how can our viewers binge watch the previous seasons and stay updated with the new episodes?
Yes. So if you want to binge watch and you've never seen, first of all, shame on you, never seen NYGTV. That's number one. But if you want to binge watch, you can go to the YouTube channel New York Girls TV, and that's also where Phase 6 will be. So follow the channel, subscribe, check out all our content because we got mad stuff, a movie, mad seasons. Go watch everything. And yeah, stay updated with the Instagram page, Phase 6, the series. And you can also follow me. So yeah.
Yeah, what's your Instagram? Oh, what's y-
Okay. So my Instagram is complex, but it is DEE_OHH_P.E_.